The latest eShop sale features a lot of good games at major discounts, some with upwards of an 85% off discounted price, so that just means you can stock up on a bunch of games without breaking the bank. I rounded up a list of some great titles for you to consider to pick up from the sale, so let's dive into it. Cult of the Lamb has you taking control of a lamb who is saved by death by the being called the One Who Waits, and you must build a flock of followers, aka a cult in its name. As you play, you'll need to travel between the 4 regions and take on the heretics that oppose you, while also preaching to your cult, feeding them, and sacrificing them to gain the power you need to defeat your enemies and survive. Yes, it's a crazy, twisted game, like a weird, messed up take on Animal Crossing meets Binding of Isaac, but it ends up being a pretty addictive game, as you balance between taking care of and growing your cult, while beating down the horrors in each region. Recently, Cult of the Lamb received yet another huge free update, one of many that the game has received, and the latest update now adds 2-player co-op to the game, as well as new weapon powers, abilities, and items to build. The developers behind the game have been putting a lot of effort into this game, and to celebrate, they have put the game on sale for 50% off, which is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. Honestly, I think that's a heck of a deal for this game. I had a blast with it last year, and I've been enjoying the heck out of it with the free updates. In addition to the game being on sale, the Cultist, Heretic, and Sinful pack bundle, which adds extra follower forms, decorations, and such, is on sale for 50% off too, for $8.99. Now, you definitely don't need the DLC, but if you really love the game like I do, then it's not a bad addition to have. In my NES Games on Switch video, I talked about the Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle, a collection of 18 NES and Famicom games for the Switch. This has all 3 Double Dragon games, Renegade, Super Dodgeball, Crash and the Boys Street Challenge, and the legendary River City Ransom, but it also has a bunch of classic games that were previously unreleased in America, and they all been officially translated into English for the first time ever via this collection. In addition, you get access to all the original versions of the games, plus a brand new quality up version, basically a newer version of certain games that have improved in-game mechanics and commands for some, as well as improved performance. If you're a big fan of 8-bit stuff, then this collection is a must-get. It's a tremendous value for just $19.99. You get access to a bunch of nice beat-em-up games, multiplayer games, fun arcade-style sports games, and more. Definitely check out this bundle if you're into the retro game stuff. I've recently talked about modern arcade games on Switch again, and in the very first video of the series, I talked about a game called Hotshot Racing. Hotshot Racing has a lot of nods to retro 3D arcade racing games of yesteryear, but does so with the addition of a nice amount of content to the mix. The gameplay is easy to pick up and play, and includes a lot of modes, such as Grand Prix, Time Trial, Cops and Robbers, Drive and Explode, Arcade, as well as online modes, and even a local wireless multiplayer. You can even earn stuff to customize your cars and characters. It's a great little racing game. At just $2.99, it's an incredible deal, and a must-get for those who love arcade racing. Mighty Goose is most definitely inspired by the Metal Slug series, with familiar gameplay. Just now you're playing as a goose in battle armor. It features fun and fast run-and-gun gameplay, with lots of variety to the levels, vehicles to jump into just like the Metal Slug games, and fun over-the-top boss battles. There's even co-op play too. If you're gonna do a heavily inspired game like this, then you'd better do it right, and Mighty Goose is a game that sure as heck does that. Make sure to check this one out. If you're curious, I did do a review of this game a long time ago on the channel. I'll put a link to that down below in the comments. But if you like what you see, definitely pick it up for the $7.99 it's going for on the eShop until August 29th. Trust me, it's worth it. While the movie was a big disappointment, the game based on it definitely is a much better experience. The Mummy Demastered is a 16-bit style Metroidvania that takes place during the events of the film. It has you playing as an unnamed soldier fighting against the evil forces of Princess Amunet. Unlike most Metroidvanias, this one incorporates a lot of run and gun action into the mix, with the many projectile weapons that you can obtain and use, from rifles to flamethrowers to grenades and such. I like this game, it's a lot of fun, though it is pretty challenging, so expect to get your butt kicked quite a bit. But if that doesn't bother you too much, then I think you're in for a treat with this one. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally on sale for much less than it ever has been before. It's down to $6.99, which marks a brand new low price for it on the eShop. Legendary shoot-'em-up Radiant Silvergun is a certified classic with its unique scoring system, where destroying or attacking enemies of the same color can create a scoring chain and allow you to score a ton of points. In addition, there's a pretty unique weapon system, where you can shoot in one of many directions based on which button you press. Unlike most shoot-'em-ups, this is a much more strategic, almost a thinking man's shoot-'em-up, as you gotta be aware of how you go about attacking and using your weapons, or else the game's gonna kick your butt pretty hard. I'll admit this one is not for everyone. It is definitely not an easy shoot-'em-up. It's difficult and challenging, but I do think if you consider yourself a shoot-'em-up fan, that you should at least give this one a shot to try to see why so many love this game. If you're ready to take on the challenge, then now is a good time as ever, as it's on sale for a brand new low price on the eShop. It's just $7.99 until August 29th. One of Switch's best roguelike games, as well as Metroidvania games, is Dead Cells. In this game you take control of a creature called the Prisoner, who goes on a journey and takes on mutated monsters and enemies. When a player loses a life, they lose all weapons and upgrades they obtain, but retain a few permanent items that they can use on their next quest. As you play and then die, you'll get stronger, not only from the permanent progress you retain, but also with the knowledge that you obtain. See, this is a difficult game that's very comparable to the Dark Souls series in nature, as you'll need to know when and how to attack enemies, and how to survive the traps within the procedurally generated dungeons. The only way how is through trial and error. Prepare to die quite a lot. Still though, this game is loved by players for its fair but difficult challenge, as well as its well-designed gameplay and the expansions that really add a lot of fantastic content. That's why I recommend picking up the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania bundle. It has the game, plus all the expansions, including that stellar Return to Castlevania expansion that has you traversing the famed Dracula's castle while taking on enemies and bosses from Konami's legendary series. It's on sale for $18.89. Yes, that's quite on purpose there, and this is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. Honestly, that's a steal of a price for a gem of a game. NIS America has a bunch of RPGs and JRPGs on sale right now on the eShop until the 26th, but for today's video, I just want to quickly shout out these next three because they are on sale on the eShop for brand new low prices, and they seem to be some really good JRPGs that are highly recommended by players. Ys 9, Monstrum Nox, the 9th mainline entry in the famed Ys series, is on sale for a brand new low price of $26.99. The Ys series are some really good action RPGs, and the latest entry, at least until 10 comes out later this year, introduces the use of some brand new powers to the series to shake things up. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3 is on sale for $23.99, as is the sequel, The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 4. Both games are highly rated, as well as massive games overall, perfect for those who want a meaty JRPG to sink their teeth into. Side note, there's been a lot of Legend of Heroes games released for the Switch, but every single one seems to have gotten great reviews. That's pretty impressive for a series that has seen as many as 7 games arrive for the console, basically almost one every year. QuakeCon 2024 happened earlier this month, and just like every year prior, there's always an eShop sale. One of the notable games on sale right now is Doom 2016, one of Switch's impossible ports, an excellent shooter, and it's on sale for $7.99. Another notable game is its sequel, Doom Eternal, which is another impossible port too, and that's on sale for the excellent Ancient Gods expansions for $17.49. If you're looking for some great modern first-person shooters for Switch, these are 2 games to definitely look out for. They are some of the Switch's best, It's a pretty good combo for around 25 bucks or so. If you like the older shooters, or the boomer shooters, then check out Doom 64, which is technically the third game in the Doom series, just not in name. It's on sale for $1.99. I really love the care that the developers put into this version. It looks great, better than ever, with nice quality of life updates, and lots of new features, plus it has the addition of the lost levels. If you're looking for Doom 3 in name, which is more of a horror-like game, then that's on sale too. The Switch port is the BFG edition, with the addition of the Resurrection of Evil and Lost Missions expansions. It's a pretty good pickup too, at just $3.99 via the latest sale. While I'm talking about the Doom games, I do want to give my viewers a heads up that if you previously bought the original Doom or Doom 2 on Switch, then you now have free access to a brand new updated version called Doom 1 Plus 2, an updated release of the classic games running on the Kex engine. It features online cross-platform multiplayer and co-op up to 16 players, plus a ton of built-in episodes, mods and such, and a brand new deathmatch pack featuring 25 maps, plus a in-game mod browser. Simply put, it's one of the best ways to experience these classics, with a bevy of new content too. Again, if you bought the original Doom or Doom 2 previously, you can download the new Doom Plus 2 edition for free. The older versions have been delisted, but of course if you bought them, you can re-download them at any time in case you want to. Finally, for the QuakeCon sales, there's the Quake 1 plus 2 Enhanced Bundle. This includes both enhanced remasters of Quake 1 and 2, with visual improvements, online and local multiplayer, and co-op with crossplay support, new expansions, motion aiming support, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Heck, they even included Quake 264 with the Quake 2 game. They pretty much thought of everything for these remasters, and to get both, it's only $5.99 via the sale. I consider this to be a must-get if you love boomer shooters. One of my favorite Metroidvania games on Switch is Record of Lodoss War-Deedlit and Wonder Labyrinth. It's a game that is heavily inspired by Castlevania's Symphony of the Night, but manages to feel different enough with its unique focus on spells, Deedlit's use of bow and arrow, and the spirit system, both in regards to combat and with solving many of the puzzles that lie within the labyrinth. It's such an awesome game, the gameplay is stellar, the graphics are great, as is the music, and there's some wonderful boss battles within the game. Make sure to check this one out, Metroidvania fans. If you like Pokemon or monster collecting and battling, then you might want to check out the Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection Bundle. This contains both games, the first one and its sequel, and it's very comparable to Pokemon, especially with the turn-based battle system and the amount of monsters you can collect, but it has some additions, like some light crafting, joining a guild, and side quests and such, to shake things up. For $9.99, you get 2 games, so it's a pretty good deal in that regard for value. If you love blowing things up, then consider picking up Red Faction Guerrilla Re-Mars-tered. It is an excellent deal at $2.99. It's a third-person shooter in an open-world setting where players are tasked with taking control of a mining engineer who becomes a freedom fighter against the Earth Defense Force. This involves taking down the bad guys, as well as blowing lots of stuff up. In fact, one of the more impressive things about this game is the destruction system, where buildings, cover, vehicles, anything can just about be destroyed or blown to pieces. Apart from the single-player campaign, there is multiplayer, where up to 16 players can duke it out in deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag, and more. For $3, I consider it to be a no-brainer. If you're a fan of Naruto or anime-style fighting games, then consider picking up the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Trilogy for Switch. This bundle contains the first 3 games in the series, which are all solid games, and have all their content and DLC included. The bundle is on sale for just $13.99. For less than $5 per game, that's a pretty good deal. I've talked about the Assassin's Creed Anniversary Edition Mega Bundle quite a few times via my eShop deals videos throughout the year, but I figured I'd give it another shout out, considering it's a really good value for those who like the series and want to check it out on Switch. Essentially, it has every collection, every Assassin's Creed game available on the Switch. It has Assassin's Creed The Ezio Collection, which has Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, as well as 2 short films, and all the single-player DLC. Plus it has Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, with Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, and all its single-player DLC. And finally it has the Rebel Collection, which has Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed Rogue, plus all the single-player DLC for those games too. It's a lot of games, and a lot of content for just $40. And there you go, that's the latest eShop deals. If you plan on picking up anything from the sale, then make sure to post it in the comments down below. Also, I'm curious, what games have you been playing lately? As for myself, of course I've been dabbling in some retro stuff, but I've also been playing some JRPG stuff lately too. I got a bit of a backlog to tackle in that department. Anyway, that's all for me today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next video.